Today we reimagine one of the strongest decks we've made in recent times, and that is Naya counters, except we have new colors and new win cons, and we have ways to get 2 Ouroboros down on the field as early as turn 3, giving us some of the most absurd board states in such a short time. Alright guys, so recently we had a deck list that did extremely well on the ladder for us that we keep going back to over and over again, and that's our Naya counters deck. It has a very high win rate. I used it to get into Diamond today, and so I figured, why not reimagine the deck list a little bit with some more tools and maybe mix up the colors a little bit. So we landed on Bant today. It's almost the exact same sort of deck and idea, just with different tools and different win cons, which is really fun and refreshing to play the deck this way. Basically, it works off the Ouroboros. We all know how this card works. It's trying to scale the entire board really quickly. We get a ton of ramp into it, things like Badger Mole Cub. Try to get this down as fast as possible and grow the field. That's the main game plan. But we used to have things like Arabella in the deck, and we had Halana in the deck that we're changing out for some other fun tools with blue and white. One of the fun tools is Silent Hall Creeper. Silent Hall Creeper has the ability to get basically 2 Ouroboros onto the battlefield by turn 3. We get an elf down, we get a Hall Creeper down, we get the Ouroboros down. The Hall Creeper then copies the Ouroboros after it attacks, and you got 2 Ouroboros on the field, which is so ridiculous. One of the combos that made me build the deck. I love this in the Simic version that we have of this deck. And because we are in Bant, I wanted to keep it in Bant because I do think that the Collector's Cage is one of those cards that's just way too valuable for this deck that the Naya deck had, that I think makes it as good as it is, because it helps us find all these big hits later in the game, and it's a really great way to find things without having like a crazy draw engine, right? So I do love this card quite a bit, which is why we landed in white as well, but it also allows us to splash in one-ofs of really fun spells like the Long-Eared of the Law. This guy right here doubles the counters on the creatures when they're attacking, which is basically another Ouroboros effect. It comes in and also gives counters, so it can pump up the Ouroboros right away, kind of like Halana used to. We got Sob, which allows us to, draw cards. It's indestructible. It has reach. It gains counters every turn, so it plays into that game plan very well. And then we got Zimone. Zimone passes counters around as well, and it also doubles the counters by paying 2 mana and tapping it, which is another really crazy doubling effect. And speaking of our doubling effects, we have one more, Sovereign. Sovereign doubles the amount of power on a creature based on how much power it already has access to its normal power level. So if it has 1 counter on it, it's going to get 2 the following turn, then 4. It's another doubling effect that's really ridiculous, that if you can stack a handful of these together, it just goes crazy really fast. The early version of this deck did have a counter spell. We were running the mutation spell, but I didn't really like that in the deck. The deck was really aggressive. We were trying to cut back on those, and I added Elspeth into the deck because it's a great planeswalker that adds counters and gives us bodies for the Ouroboros to go wide with. I think it's working out really well. So super fun list, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this quite a bit. We're going to jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. We'll see you at the end. Peace out. All right, we did just hit Diamond, and we did it with our Naya counters deck. So today I figured, let's modify that deck and see what we can do with it. So I decided to modify it in the colors of Bant, and we've got a much different look now, and I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's pretty much got the same sort of core idea as our previous build. A lot of the same sort of, powerful things that it can do, but it is definitely got some new really fun tools like Sob here. Don't know if I love seeing an island here. It depends, I guess, if it's control or not control. Let's do it. I'm just a little worried it's gonna get countered. It got countered. It indeed got countered. It'll quench you, sure. Okay. Yeah, it's control, all right. It's control, which means sweepers are gonna be a thing probably, unless it's like flash blue. Could be flash blue. Let's go with, we could go with Sob. What if it gets countered though? Ugh, I hate counter spells. Okay, let's play this out and let's just play out our cage. Hopefully it sticks. It does not stick. It'll quench you. Alrighty. I mean, we're well ahead on damage on board, and if it's just blue, I feel pretty confident. It's just going to be really annoying to try to get through all these counter spells that they could potentially end up having on us. But let's see if we can land this. Probably not. I hope so. I mean, maybe they just flash in like a Enduring Curiosity or something. Well, they're letting those on tap. Hold on now. Let's go. We landed it. It does have indestructibility, but that doesn't really matter when... yeah, they're going to flash like an Enduring Curiosity in here. It doesn't really matter about the indestructibility when most of their removal spells are going to be bouncing effects, you know? That's a pretty expensive card to have to replay all the time. Oh. No Enduring Curiosity. Okay. Oh, I think they did have it, but I think they forgot to hit it and they jumped to their turn on accident. I can almost guarantee that's what happened. GG. All right, we got a very good starting hand here. Got the cage. Pollinator does produce the mana off of the cage, and we have a counter spell. Oh boy, that's gonna be fast, and we're going second. So, I mean, we have the answer. The answer is Sheltered by Ghosts, but can we find the Sheltered by Ghosts in time? That's the big question. An elf is good. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt big time. Sheltered by Ghosts, maybe? No Sheltered, but I did find the Ouroboros, so I gotta be pretty happy about that. What I'm not happy about is the fact that I won't be able to flip the Hideaway on this for a minute. Yikes. Okay, so 2, 3 more damage. Sure. All right, let's just do this. And yikes, man. I'm literally taking damage for everything right now. Which I guess is the point, right? Pay 1 life. Let's get this in. Pay another life. And hopefully a Sheltered. Yes, a Sheltered. Okay, perfect. We might be okay. We might be okay. Here's what's gonna happen though. We're gonna make some blocks. We're gonna pump up our creatures. That's fine. It doesn't have haste. Last card in hand. They choose not to play it. They're gonna send in some attackers here. So hypothetically speaking, what can we do here as far as blocks go? Well, we got a few options here. I'm thinking that we let this get through. We block here. And then here, and then whichever one they pump up, we can kind of lean into the cage. Okay, let's do that. Let's block here and here. All right, so what we're gonna do then is we're gonna go cage on this one and cage on this one. All right, we're safe. Kind of. All right, let's draw. Ouch. All right, so we're gonna go Ouroboros comes down and the Sheltered by Ghost comes down. I'm gonna put the Sheltered on something that can attack this turn. Let's do it. So we're gonna put the counter here. And then we're gonna put the counter on the Ouroboros, right? Yes. We get the Sheltered by Ghosts. I think we're in this one, guys. I think we're in it. Barely, but we are in it. All right, let's bring this in for a white source. Let's pump up the field and swing in for 6, gaining 6. And leave everything back to block for now. And I do have a counter spell that I could play at any point too, which is really awesome. Shout out to the Collector's Cage, man. I'm gonna let that resolve because I need to leave up my blockers. Yeah, they can't really do anything here. Well, I guess they could. If they full send, this does have menace. Just gonna send that guy in, huh? Pumping it one time, it goes to 3-4. I mean, sure. Okay, I was gonna say, am I missing something here? GG's, man, what a win. That was a good one. That was right down to the wire. That was close. Sheltered by Ghosts is a nasty, nasty card. I'll say it a million times, man. All right, we got the opponent going first, but we have a ton of ramp into Ouroboros, so no brainer on this keep, I think. Chocobo, sketchy. Their deck could get moving here pretty quickly. Another Sheltered by Ghost is probably going to be very important in this one. All right, that's fine. Let's go. Oh, that's a good land. Let's go with the elf into a weaver. Just get all of our ramp down on the field at once. I love that the weaver can on-tap during spells being cast for greater. I think that's going to be so clutch in so many ways, especially with Collector's Cage Hideaway. You get to on-tap it after you, you know, get the free spell that's 4 mana or bigger. All right, so Bristly Bill on the field, making things a lot more difficult for us. But I do have Ouroboros next turn, and I think I can follow it with a cage too. I'm just a little concerned about my blocks. Like going second really made things tough because now we're on the clock here. Like one more turn and we're done. So we tap this for green. And then I think we just sit on it, man. I think as far as blocks go, we have to make sure we have them. So let's just leave it how it is. I could counter something too, or I could even put some counters on something when I surprise block. Oh, I can't counter anything? Wait, why did it say I had this a minute ago? Oh, because I tapped the wrong land. Okay, that's fine. Ouch. That's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt. At least it wasn't a sack land, right? So we're only gonna take the 2 damage. What kind of land is this though? It deals damage or what? Yeah. All right, we're in trouble. We're officially in trouble. Man. Nothing I can do here, huh? Nothing I can do here, because even if I wanted to play Collector's Cage next turn and try to get like a Sheltered by Ghosts, I mean, I could just top deck Sheltered by Ghosts and obviously that'd be awesome, but I don't think we're gonna get that lucky. That doesn't help. Yeah, I think we're cooked. I think we're cooked. It is what it is, man. If we block 3, 4, 5 gets through, yeah, GG's. We lost this one. It is what it is. I mean, it was a tough game. It was a very tough game. They got off to a hot start. They're very aggressive. I didn't find a Sheltered in time, so that's how it goes. All right, we are going first this time. Hand looks good. Got the ton of ramp into the Sovereign this time. Pretty interesting card. I'm excited to try these kind of cards out though, man. That's why we wanted to go Bant. I've got a ton of really cool cards like the Sob and this, and we even got that big rabbit that I want to try out. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But unfortunately, our opponent is playing something that I'm not a big fan of, and that is Kona. Kona. Yep, they're gonna mill and try to pull a creature back, looking for the Kona. Okay, so they get back an Overlord, one of their win cons. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. All right, pay the 2. We get the Weaver down. We get down the cage, and we still have 1 mana to activate the cage. Ugh, it's another cage. Darn it. Oh well. Good enough. What does it hit? What does it hit? Let's see. Shelter by Ghost. Oh, those are some pretty bad cage hits. I'm not gonna lie. Out of all the cool things we could have grabbed, those were not ideal. Not ideal, man. There's a strong possibility we just lose next turn. It's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility for sure. All right, so let's do the Badgemole. Put this in. On tap that Weaver again. And do we play this one? I mean, we might as well, right? Just unload everything here. Seems fine. And then let's start putting counters. Start putting counters on everything here. So that way this can start doubling all the counters on everybody. So counter on you. counter on you. Sheltered by ghosts because why not? All right. And then next turn, I start doubling up the power of all the things that have counters, which should be pretty close to everything next turn. So that's good. It's basically like an Ouroboros of its own. Here we go. If it's Omniscience, GG's. Really hope not. That's fine. I can live with that. I can absolutely live with that. Which is a crazy thing to say, but all right, cool, cool, cool. This is actually really nice. Let's do it. This is gonna be an amazing turn. What a top deck, actually. Actually so clutch. All right, and then everything's gonna get doubled again in power. Boom! Oh my gosh, it's like having two Ouroboros at once. That's what I'm talking about. Bang, 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 bang. GG's, man, that was close. That was very close. They got the turn 4 Kona, but no Omniscience, which means they didn't go infinite, giving us a slight chance to get through the following turn. All right, we got a really fast hand into a Sob. I cannot deny that. There's no way. I do need to get a blue source, of course, but the ramp I have here into my double Ouroboros is insane, so we keep it. All right. Yeah, unfortunately not able to cast another spell this turn, but we've got 2, 4, 5 mana already. If I can get a land, I wouldn't mind actually playing the Long Ear of the Law, which is a really cool card that gives counters, but whenever a creature you control with a counter on it attacks, it doubles the counters, which is kind of ridiculous. Not gonna lie, that hurt my feelings. That's pretty annoying. That was actually mad annoying. Okay. We did miss a land drop too. All right, so that works off of sacrifice, right? Whenever your creature enters, create a 2/2, and then whenever a creature you control dies, opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. If they reach max speed, that is. Yeah, let's do this. Next turn, we got the Long Ear of the Law, or we got a, well, yeah, I guess we could go Sob too if we want. Doesn't really matter. Either way, pretty solid. Okay. And this is whenever any creature attacks, right? Whenever a creature you control attacks, it doubles the counters on it. That's pretty ridiculous, I can't lie. That's pretty ridiculous. Let's put the counter here and here. So it's gonna go to 2 more counters if I attack with it. Okay, so they could have surprised me with that, but instead they chose not to, which is awesome. 4, 5. This will be at 6. Okay, perfect. You can block if you want. I don't really care. Cool. And then I could go 2 mana Ouroboros into a Sheltered by Ghosts as well this next turn. Hopefully they play something big like the 5 mana Virtue. Now they go small. That's fine. They're trying to get their Ascensions popping too, so they can start blinking some things. That has Hexproof instance, right? Yeah, just instance. So I could still Sheltered by Ghosts and take it. Okay, that's a lot of bodies, I won't lie. A lot of bodies. We're gonna go 2 here. Sheltered here. We're gonna take your lifelink. And everybody's gonna get a big power bump, and these guys are all gonna double their counters when they attack. Absolutely insane, dude. Long Ear of the Law is no joke. All right, they have to block with pretty much everything here. That's good. We're still at 20. We just deleted most of their board state. They are going to get another 1/1 off the nesting bot, but ultimately pretty darn good, right? Pretty darn good. Until they sweep the board, that is. Not a sweeper. Not a sweeper. I like their deck, though. I got to give them credit. It's a very unique deck. I haven't seen this before, so I do respect that, and they get all the credit in the world for me for that. Okay, no other spells to cast for 2 at least. They're going to blink the Ascendant here for another 2/2 token. They already drew a card, though, right? I think so, right? This just came in. Okay. I kind of want to get creative. I would really like to get so many things down here. Everything that's in my hand is really good, right? I mean, I could just run them over, really. Realistically, I should probably just run them over. I kind of want to gamble, though, and just see what we hit. I'm very curious. Okay, I guess we're running them over. Time to run them over. Well, first, let's make sure we tap the right thing. Let's get this into. And pump this to 5. Good luck with this. Do me a favor. Catch this real quick. My goodness. 4 attackers, 5 blockers. They're still alive, but I am going to go to 50 life. Something light, something easy. Something chill. And then here comes the sweeper. I'm just waiting for the sweeper. I know I'm going to get got. I just have a bad feeling in my gut about it. No? Okay. Gonna pay the 2 ward. Get back your creature. That's fine. Very cool. Very cool. That's it. All right. This doesn't do anything on the ETB, right? As long as the total, yeah, it just gets bigger. They do draw a card, though, here, right? Yeah, they draw a card. They haven't drawn one yet. Another Badger Mole. Okay, GG's. GG's. That was going to be a lot of damage. That was going to be a lot of damage. So I think I forgot to mention that I switched out the mutation, the repulsive mutation counterspell for an Elspeth. I'm hoping to find it in one of these games, but Elspeth I think is going to be a little bit more fun because it does give us a lot of bodies on the field for Ouroboros to pump, but also it gives us some counters too. So I felt like it was a good fit. And on top of that, I also like the fact that, you know, with the repulsive mutation, we're pumping out a lot of creature spells as fast as possible, trying to unload our hand, which means we don't have a lot of time to have mana just kind of floating. So I don't think it's going to be a very good card for us. Well, this is a bummer. Yeah, kind of a bummer. Hopefully the opponent doesn't blow up anything else because I really need this mana for the Sob. If I get the Sob down, though, I don't think they're going to have much of an answer for it, except for maybe a bounce spell. I would guess they're weapons manufacturing. I don't really ever see the extruder being ran unless it's weapons manufacturing. Oh, okay. I see. It's synthesizer. Okay. Pay the life. And I think I'm actually going to do this. I don't love it, but it's good enough. GG's. Boom! I knew it was going to be pretty good. You know, shutting down their ability to get a synthesizer is always going to be nice. Slows them down quite a bit. All right, we get to go first with a Badger Mole, so we're not passing on that. Get a blue land with a Grand. Okay, that's pretty scary. Could be Izzet, could be a number of things. I did play Teamer, I think, a little bit ago. Did we play Teamer on the video? I can't remember. And a firebending lesson. Okay, so we're definitely Izzet. Am I willing to throw a Sheltered on the land? I think so. I think we're in a lot of trouble, though. Losing the Badger Mole here is really bad, especially with the current hand that we have. Yeah, not ideal. But I will be taking the Grand. And who knows, these Sheltered by Ghosts, we might be able to just keep stacking them onto the breeding pool and taking things from them like monuments and artist talents. But they could also just pay the 2 ward pretty easily right now to blow it up. So they throw away a monument. Insane. They've lost their marbles. Intercept, yeah. Let's do it again. Now we're a lot more protected from things like firebending lesson and stuff, because they're gonna need to pay forward, which they're not even gonna have. So our breeding pool is fairly safe, unless it's a balance effect for one, I guess. Even then, it's good for at least another turn. Artist talent, okay. They're really testing my patience here. Too many must answers. All right, give me another land. I'd like to go with the long ear of the law next and then go to Ouroborid. At worst, we ouroborid. Ouroborid. It's all good. Our breeding pool has ward 6-2, by the way, so it ain't going nowhere. I do hate that they have the discount from Grand though. So many discounts from this deck that's what makes it so overpowered. You got Grand, you got the artist talent. Everything is like trying to reduce the cost of your deck by 1, and these things are already, you know, 2 mana to draw 3. It's pretty overpowered. These turns also take a very long time, so buckle up, guys, and enjoy the ride, because this is going to be a long game, I have a feeling. Yep. Nothing like a 1 mana artist talent. You still have 1 spell to cast, that's correct. And it's a Storm Chaser's talent. Yeah, I mean, we got off to a great start. We really did. So I'm not too upset if we end up losing this one, but I am bummed because of how good the start was. It's like, you know, it kind of doesn't feel great to lose one that you kind of feel like you had in the bag. I definitely want to get that down just because Long Ear of the Law can get cast next turn if that's the case. But at least we're not holding priority, so that's all them right now. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this deck list. We have some new cards coming very soon. Lorwyn Eclipse just dropped some of their, you know, what's it called, spoilers. So I will be trying to do a video tomorrow for that. I'm going to do some reviewing of the cards tonight a little bit and kind of seeing what's going on. But I am hyped about the new set. The cards that I've seen so far have been pretty cool, but I got to really dive into them. And that's going to probably be next week for early access event, I would imagine. So a lot of fun things in the pipeline, that's for sure. A lot of fun things in the pipeline. But we're closing in on that right now. So these next couple of days, you know, ooh, what's that? Why are we doing that? They get another treasure and they do another Iroh hit or what? Oh my gosh, it does more damage because of the talent. I'm like, why are they doing this? Oh my gosh, they got back their other artist talent. Unbelievable. Well, there goes the game. There goes the game. Because we were going to gain a lot of life off that shelter, or all 3 of those shelters, and now we can't, so that'll do it. GG's. I guess we'll find out, though. I guess we get one more turn, right? So we'll see. Boomerang basics. Long Ear of the Law, probably not, you know, off the table now. This deck is so frustrating to play against. But yeah, anyways, because the new cards are around the corner and we're closing in on, you know, this most recent set, you know, we're running a little low on fresh ideas, seeing as we kind of are revisiting things like our counters deck right now. So Monday and Tuesday, I should be able to get you guys some content. Yeah, we should be able to get you guys 2 more deck lists, but yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying these decks, even though they are a bit of a revisiting on some of the older things you've been doing. But anyways, I think we're safe to call it on this one. I mean, they couldn't have ran better, honestly. What did we do? We took away 2 Grands. They found a 3rd. We took away an artist talent. They found another one. All the cards they need to get their engines running, they found like 3 copies of each. So it is what it is. All right, so this is not the most ideal hand. It's a little slow. We're going second. I don't think we can risk that, unfortunately. Another kind of sketchy hand. See, when you're going second, you really need like the Badgermole and the Elf to kick you off strong. Man, I don't think I can keep this one either, but do I really want to mulligan again? Not really. Not really. I don't know. I'm torn. I think I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, we got a badger mole, and we have a hall creeper. You know what? I might want to just go badger mole into sob. That might have to be the play. And if I get disrupted with the badger mole here, it's definitely over. So risking it for the biscuit. Here we go. You're saying there's a chance. It's mono green. Double mulligans don't usually pan out, but this time I think it just might. Badger mole for them. Off to a lightning start. Wait. Oh, I mulliganed the hand with Zimone. I was like, how did we get Zimone again already? I'm like, there's a one of, and I thought I put it on the bottom. But that was from the previous mulligan. I definitely still could use a land here. I would be pretty happy about that. Really? No blocks. Pretty gutsy by them, though. All right, let's bring up this land, which will count as 3 mana. There we go. The ramp has been initiated without any disruption, so we're online here. We're on the board. Now we just got to get Sob down, which can block so well, being that it's indestructible and all. They also have an indestructible creature in Tyvar, but mine's a little better, I think, because I don't have to tap another creature down. And it draws me 2 cards every turn, so that's kind of fire. On tap the Weaver. Now, I normally would probably put a counter on... hold on. Let's do this for blue. And let's on-tap the Weaver again. Okay, I would normally put a counter on Sob here, but I really needed to draw me cards next turn. So I think instead I'm going to put it onto the Weaver and the Zimone itself. Seems fine. Okay, we're chilling, man. We got good blockers now. We got card draw. This definitely flipped around pretty quickly, didn't it? Let's go, dude. That's a big win. That's a big win. Double mulligan win is crazy. All right, we go first with a great starting hand. It's a lot of ramp here early. We don't have to do any sort of crazy mulligans, and we can get this party started. My dog barks so much. I don't know if it's picking it up on the mic. It's just he barks literally all day, every day at nothing. I appreciate it. He's trying to protect the house, you know? You got to give him credit where credit's due, but sometimes, bro, everything's fine. You got to chill out with the barking. Could go with both of these on the next... Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's do it. I'm greedy. No! What is wrong with the auto tapper? I just had this conversation yesterday on stream. The auto tapper has taken so much away from me. Like, just let me deal one damage to myself so I can get this darn pollinator down, you know? What are we doing? Wouldn't mind a collector's cage here too. That'd be kind of cool. That's not a bad card. I'll pay life for this. I will get this in. And I will attach the shelter to it. I don't see how the opponent comes back from this, but I mean, I am out of things to do, so who knows. Hall Creeper does draw me a card, though. I gained some life. I could put some counters on it, too, just to make it bigger and more life gain. A lot of options here. It's a good card. Don't take the sheltered. 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 Yes. Got him. Thank goodness, man. That was close. Yeah, we're for sure playing this. Tap the shelter by ghosts. And I am going to give everything flying to protect the Elspeth. Get in with this. Draw a card. Not a great pull there. Not a great pull. Lightstall Inquisitor, sure. I don't have anything in my hand, so that doesn't exactly hurt me. Annoying, but I am prepared to block, so it is what it is. If they attack me directly, I'll probably let it get through. Nope. Can't let that happen. Too valuable. Another big win. Let's go, dude. And we got the ability to draw more cards off the new card we just top decked there, so that's pretty clean. Hey, we're ranking up. Let's go. All right, so our hand is pretty good. Really good, actually. Pretty much our straight up mono green run them over kind of a situation. Oh, baby. That is nice. That is really nice. I feel pretty confident about this one. I've got Elspeth next turn if I want it, right? 2, 4. Yeah. We got Elspeth and I think we got the Ouroboros. So we go 2, 4, 5, and then we got 2, 4. Yeah, we got plenty of mana to play both of these, which is not okay. That's not a good thing, I don't think, for standard, but alas, here we are, we're doing it. All right, Elspeth. No. Let's go green. Let's go pay life, white. Elspeth. Wait, hold on. 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did that wrong. Oh, it's because I don't have double white. Ugh. Well, that's not good. Hold on. Yeah, this ain't good. I guess we'll do this first. And then on tap. And then we Elspeth. Yeah, I guess that's the best I can do. And we play the Pollinator. Give everything a counter. Disgusting. They have 2 lands, and this is our board state. They have 2 lands, and that's our board state. I definitely think I'm pretty happy with adding Elspeth to the mix instead of the counter spell. I definitely think it went a pretty long way for us. I feel kind of bad. I don't really want to win like this. It's pretty degenerate. It's pretty degenerate what we just did. Bro, can we just tap the lands the way I want them to be tapped? Like, it doesn't matter. Good God. Good God, man. I don't have the right colors, which is making things really tough. All right, and then the following turn with the Sovereign, I mean, we were going to double all the counters on everything after we attack again, so theoretically we're swinging in for like 200. Just disgusting. All right, going first. Hand's okay. It does lack in the 1-drop department, which always makes a pretty big difference when you're talking about Badger Mole. I also struggle too on which I should play first. Like, do we go Weaver first or we go Badger Mole first? I never really know what the right call on that is, but I'm gonna go Badger Mole and hope the opponent doesn't have a Get Lost or a Lightning Helix here. Or a Braid. We've seen a Braid today, right? A Braid would be bad. Okay, it landed. It did land. I mean, we might have Ouroboros here on 3, which is filthy. I mean, I hope I honestly get a Sovereign. Ooh. Not good, not good. Okay, I didn't expect that. I probably should have. I really should have expected that. My bad. Okay, Let's just get this down for now. I think Ouroboros would have got countered here. At least this way I can pay the 3 mana off the No More Lies, right? So, and if it's a 3 steps ahead, great. I can get the Ouroboros down to follow it up. That'd be great. They're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here, in my opinion. It does feel like they have 3 steps ahead or No More Lies. I'm guessing No More Lies just because of the way they played that. Yeah, good stuff. Do I have to choose? I think I do. Man, I almost got an Elspeth there. Almost. Okay. Please leave it alone. If it's Day of Judgment, we're cooked. We're cooked. Yeah, just not a good matchup for us. Altogether, control is just a much better situation. It's a bummer. I am going to do this because there are no permanents that we need to worry about, and it also allows me to tap the Sheltered by Ghost for an actual land when the Pollinator has its ability. So we may need this as a land next turn for this to come down. So just prepping the field so I can get the Sovereign down. Come on, we got this. Auto pay, yes. Because the Pollinator can tap another permanent. Sheltered is another permanent we can tap. And we get countered. I don't know why we're still in this game, to be honest. Honestly, because we're probably just short on time for anything else for the video, so might as well play this one out and see how it goes. They didn't even kick that. They're looking for something that costs 4. Maybe a Regent or... I don't know. What would they want for 4 here that they wouldn't want to just kick that, you know? Okay. It's an interesting card to have. I love that card. One of my favorite draw spells of all time, really. I know we don't get to play it a lot because it's not really good, but it is a card I really do admire quite a bit. Down to 10. What are you going to do about my 2 Pollinators and a Hall Creeper, bro? Can't stop this. We are truly unstoppable with this board state. Let's see. Ultima? My guess is Ultima. Put your guesses in now. Day of Judgment or Ultima? Or Lightning Helix? Or Jeskai Revelation? Take your pick. I bet it's one of those. I changed my mind. I'm going Jeskai Revelation. Oh, I changed my mind only because of the way they were touching my cards. They were kind of deciding which one they wanted to blow up and bounce. I should have said it sooner, though. That was cheating. That was cheating. GG's. I mean, what a run, though, right? I mean, super fun games, just not the matchup you want to see there.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man. Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap, yeah.